For your health and wellness needs, visit alsherbs.com, ALSHERBS.com, because your health is your wealth. For all your tech support needs, visit ASCS Technical Services at ASCSTS.com. We have on site service as well as remote support options. Check out brokegeniuses.com, stay in the know, order some of our latest merchandise as well as use our financial tools to help you on your daily financial journey.
I am not a financial expert, trader, professional trader. I have no fiduciary responsibilities towards anyone. If you are expecting to get trading advice, please consult a stockbroker, someone that has a stockbroker's license and that is binded by fiduciary responsibilities. And my strong opinion, do not trade any stocks with money that you need right now for cost of living expenses, such as your rent, mortgage, car payments, credit card bills, debt payments, anything of such, because that is what I call scared money. Do not trade with scared money. And please do your own due diligence. What's going on? This is Market Mondays. This is the Broke Genius. We are going to talk about some COVID-19 vaccine trials that are in the works. We're going to talk about a couple companies that kind of bringing people hope as well as maybe um, kind of quelling, well, igniting some people's fears because some people have this like, um, I don't know, just conspiracy theory involving vaccines and stuff like that. And either way, the actual trials are in the works as far as these companies that I'm going to be mentioning. A lot of you already heard of them, and I will talk about as far as just on the company stock side, what they're actually doing, what's involved with their trials and where they at with it. So, basically, the stock market today did pretty well, in my opinion. It was pretty, it was up significantly today. I was holding Neo shares, and I think they closed out at about over $6 a share. So that was a pretty good day for Neo today, as well as I noticed another stock that I bought a long time ago that is just through the roof as far as comparison, and it's called Plug Power, and that was just one of those stocks that it was a good buy. I picked it. It was something that I did come up, and it was a good choice, but I didn't hold it. And I saw that a year ago that stock was about $1 a share. Now it's at over $28 a share. So that's Plug Power. So you can see where the trends are as far as being able to just buy and hold. Had if you are able to hold certain stocks, you pay and you able to pick the right ones, you can pretty much create your own destiny. That's what I'm starting to see as far as a lot of these stocks that I pick. Not all of them, but quite a few. Had I bought a whole bunch of them, including Neo, Neo was $1 a share 6 months ago. Had I bought 1,000 of them, I mean, a lot of people, had they bought it, they would have been, a lot better shape. So you gotta just question yourself, if day trading is not working for you, maybe buying and holding might be a better option for you. So anyway, we're gonna talk about a couple companies that are pretty much working on different vaccines for COVID-19. I just before I mention those, you know, I I don't necessarily, I'm not fearful of vaccines. I'm not losing sleep over any conspiracy over vaccines. Okay, I've well enough had my share of vaccines. I've been in the military. You know, had a whole bunch of vaccines. I've been to grade school, high school, and you pretty much gotta get vaccinated pretty much every year. So I'm not necessarily scared of vaccines. Okay, let me just put that out there. Another thing I want to put out there is that I believe in natural herbs and natural medicine. I sell natural herbs and natural medicine, and my website is owlsherbs.com, as I mentioned in the you know prelude to this video. Now, a lot of companies, I mean, a lot of countries, they have used these natural methods such as natural herbs, and they have very, very good success with combating COVID. Okay. Now, some reason or another, in America, they are, kind of adverse to natural methods, and a lot of people are not even into natural healing. Some people even say they are adverse to it. I strongly suggest that you also look into natural methods. A lot of the herbs that, a lot of the vaccines or drugs that you take, they have plants in them. They have, natural plant herbs, plant extracts that they derive into a chemical form, and they sell to you. So it's not like it's foreign to actually get natural herbs to cure you, because a lot of the drugs, they use natural plant products, and basically just combine it with a bunch of different chemicals to get you that actual drug. Okay, they created in the lab. I mean, it's really old technology. It goes all the way back to Egypt, all the way back to Africa. Okay, Kemet is actually the name, the old name for uh you know Egypt, which is where you get the word chemistry from. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna move along into the first company, which is AstraZeneca. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna show basically what's going on with this company and their vaccine. Okay, so first of all, AstraZeneca. Okay, I did not know it was a foreign country. I mean, company. Basically, they're a British, Swedish multinational pharmaceutical company. Did not know that. Okay, so they're OTC stock. Okay, so they're working on some type of vaccine. As you can see, they have some type of you know COVID response, to, because see, here's the thing with this. Whoever comes out with it first and comes out with it successfully, they're going to make history. They're going to write their own ticket to, basically making more money. They're going to, be like the next big thing that ever hit history, where if they make some type of vaccine, it's going to change a lot of you know history to come. They'll be like the champions of the COVID-19, because this thing is really, 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 it really sucks. A lot of things are closing, even again. And it's just like, I mean, LA Fitness is closed their showers. And it's like, dude, I mean, what kind of caveman logic is it to close showers during a pandemic where you're recommending people wash their hands and basically be more hygienic, right? So what is closing showers, LA Fitness, or let's just say because they're not the ones that were doing it because of that. They're going by um, CDC guidelines. So CDC, what kind of caveman logic is it to tell health clubs to close showers when basically you're also telling people to wash their hands? Okay, please inform me of your, you know, your educated scholarship of decision making to make that type of recommendation. Okay. So AstraZeneca, this article is from the CNBC. Let me put this in the link here. Um, so this was as of 6 hours ago. Okay. So this article reads AstraZeneca COVID vaccine might seem less effective than its peers, but it has some advantages. Okay, couple bullet points is interim analysis of clinical trials show the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine had an average efficacy of 70% in protecting against the virus. Both Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna reported preliminary results showing that their respective COVID vaccines are were around 95% effective, whereas AstraZeneca's appears to have an advantage when it comes to storage, affordability, and distribution. Jeffrey analysts said. Okay, so basically what they're saying from these bullet points is that this AstraZeneca's vaccine, it's only about 70% of effectiveness against this virus, but they have a vaccine that is less cost. Okay, less effective, but also it doesn't cost that much because you got to imagine how much was a viable vaccine going to actually cost that has 95 or the effective result in getting rid of a virus that is one of the kind of worst viruses in the last 100 years. Okay, how much you think that's going to cost? Like to have a vaccine or something that is a working trial that if somebody even came into a hospital now, they take this one shot or series of shots and then it just miraculously gets rid of COVID-19 or coronavirus. Okay, how much you think that would be worth? I mean, $10,000 a shot, $1,000 a shot. I mean, you got to imagine. I mean, it's how valuable is this? Okay, and in AstraZeneca, they have an option, but it doesn't cost that much. I don't necessarily know what the other costs or what is the going rate for this vaccine. Okay, but this article I dropped it in the link. You can kind of look and see and gauge for yourself what what they might what it entails. So back to the actual company, we're gonna look at the 6 month chart and see what they've been doing. Just kind of been having peaks and valleys. Look at the year to date. Well, uh, okay. So 1 year they're at about started at November 25th at $96. They dropped off. So a good time would have been to buy them pre-pandemic. Well, not so much pre-pandemic. Well, yeah, you could say pre-pandemic because they actually named it a pandemic around March. They gave it the name. The CDC, the World Health Organization, actually made coronavirus a pandemic. They named it actually. They gave it pandemic status. So that was around. I still remember it was around March. So this stock was at about $77 then. If you would have bought it then in March, early first week, second week of March, you would have made a little bit of money because right now it's at $100, $109. Okay, so the 5 year of this company is it's pretty low, and it's kind of going down, and then it goes up. It dropped pretty heavy in March, and then it went back up. Now, if their drug trial with this vaccine is effective, and let's say it costs less than the other ones than some of their competitors, then basically that might show good promise to their stock price in the future. Now, another company that I'm going to talk about is basically Regeneron. Now, I know a little bit about Regeneron because I was watching the documentary on I think it was about Martin Shkreli, where he was the guy that he bought a pharmaceutical company, and he raised the price to like over 10,000% or 1,000% or something like that, and he was being heavily scrutinized. And he bought like the Wu Tang's album. It was like limited edition for like $2 million, and he was basically trolling him. He literally bought the album to troll him. But yeah, they were mentioning Regeneron because one thing I do know about Regeneron is this company, they bought a whole bunch of companies. They are a combination of a whole bunch of different companies rolled into one. So they got a lot of venture capitalists to just basically pull some money together and just buy a whole bunch of products that are already FDA approved. These particular products they own, I've never heard of any of these products. Okay. Now, one of these is the REGNEB3. Now, this is something that they said that they treated the Ebola virus, okay, with um and I think they're also using these certain products to also fight the coronavirus, okay, COVID-19. Now, it's one of you see how big the actual stock price is. So this company is a very a very expensive company, okay? So and actually you could see how much money you could have made in the 52 week low compared to where it is now, because they've been talking about the different vaccines that they have on trial as well. Now, their 52-week low was $328, and their 52-week high is $664. Okay, and they just a day ago. So, because let's just look at the 5 day. It went down, but let me see what it did today. So it went down and it kind of scaled up. But in Market Watch, I just clicked on this here. This is kind of interesting because basically it talks about how they have been approved. It says emergency use authorization from the FDA to use their antibody cocktail. So they got approved by Donald Trump administration to treat COVID-19 with some of their cocktails, their Regeneron antibody cocktail. Okay, so this is just yesterday. Okay, this news is 24 hours. Okay, this is only a day old, so they just got approved because here's the thing with this bugger here. Um, I was driving in on the work this morning, and somebody that was basically on Bernard's panel. I think his name was Judge Zilla. His father just passed away over the weekend of COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? People are coming up short, man, in life with this COVID-19, man. My sister passed away back in uh back in July. People they're stacking the morgues in Texas, I've heard. They are cases, a lot of cases nationally. That's why they have, nationally scaled back a lot of different businesses are now, not they're not taking any dine-in customers, only carry out only. Like I said, I've already mentioned LA Fitness. They closed down their showers and lockers, which is retarded to me because the thing is that, well, how are you? And then they're not doing it because of what they recommend. They're going by CDC recommendations. Okay, World Health Organizational mandates where it says you need to be doing this. But see, here's the thing: how are you telling us we need to wash our hands, but I gotta go work out smelling like Otis, smelling like a bunch of stank because I can't take a shower. And you telling us that we need to be washing our hands. Well, wouldn't we need to wash our entire bodies too, not just our hands? Well, I mean, what kind of caveman crap is that? But anyway, people are coming up, people are getting sick from this bug, and also people are dying from this bug. I've seen reports, like I said, in Texas, where the morgues are piling up with dead bodies. So, this is some pretty big thing right here. This is some pretty big news. The fact that Regeneron has got approved for emergency use of a cocktail, a medical cocktail, to be used for COVID-19 patients. I would imagine that it's for patients that are really in bad shape. Because it's also a nurse that was in Texas that she came out and kind of like was a whistleblower, and she was saying that it was a room where they put the COVID-19 patients in and they revive them 3 times. If they can't revive them, they just literally put them in a room to just die, wait to die. Basically, it's really bad. Like, people be talking and still talking about fake news and stuff like that. It is not fake. It is people coming up deader than a doorknob from this thing. I mean, it's, people are actually, it's a situation where it's now, at first, back in March, people were like, man, I don't know anybody that died. Now, my sister died, and people talking about their daddy died, their granddaddy died, their auntie, their uncle, their cousin died, their brother died, their sister died. People are coming up dead from this bugger. You know what I'm saying? So this is a big deal. I'm going to read this actually. So, U.S. health officials Saturday agreed to allow emergency use of second antibody drug to help the immune system fight COVID-19. Now, let me pause the show on here. Now, I've mentioned quite a few times that they're talking about you need to wear a mask and you need to wear gloves. Your immune system is the first line of defense. if your immune system is jacked up, the gloves and the mask, if anything, will just stop. If you got really good, really, you have to have a good mask and good gloves in theory, but it'll stop you from giving somebody else, in theory, the COVID-19. But if your immune system is jacked up, you are already at high odds of getting COVID-19, because if you're jacked up, if you one of them people that you only eat lettuce on your burger, you only eat vegetables because it's on your hamburger or in your tacos, and you only eat fruit from actually eating processed juice, you are at odds with trying to get with you're susceptible to getting COVID-19, because you need to eat raw fruits, raw vegetables, leafy green vegetables. Your diet should be, a mix of raw fruits and vegetables, mixed nuts, as well as other things that I've mentioned on my channel about, such as like vinegar, apple cider vinegar. Take a little shot of apple cider vinegar in the morning and before bed. Things like that help you, give yourself a leg up in this thing, and it strengthens your immune system. But yeah, I'm gonna continue on. An experimental medicine that President Donald Trump was given when he was sick in last month. The Food and Drug Administration authorized use of Regeneron Pharmaceuticals Inc. drug to try to prevent hospitalization and worsening the disease from developing in patients with mild to moderate symptoms. The drug is given as a one-time treatment through an IV. The FDA allowed its use in adults and children 12 and over who weigh at least 88 pounds and who are at high risk of severe illness from COVID 19 because of age or certain other medical conditions. Emergency use authorization allows use of the drugs to start while studies are continuing to establish safety and effectiveness. Okay, so this is not the first time they have done this. This is not the first time that they've given authorization for emergency use. Okay, I believe they gave an emergency authorization to use some other cocktail. It was a combination of, you know what? I don't even remember. I'm sure a lot of these, like a lot, people that are into this type of stuff, like such as like a Nicole Ali and Dr. Dunbar and stuff like that. They would remember. I don't even have it off the top of my head. But this is not the first time that they've got an emergency authorization, or an emergency authorization was given to use a drug cocktail. But um, Regeneron Pharmaceuticals is one of those companies that they're working on. Their scientists are working on vaccines. As you can see the article just a day ago, they've gotten approval for emergency cocktail to deal with this bug. Okay, so another company is Pfizer. Pfizer is actually one of those companies where they have gotten uh, basically some type of vaccine that their scientists and doctors have basically been working on, and they have applied for an emergency approval by the FDA to actually bring their vaccines to market. So they applied for that, I believe, last week. So let's look at Pfizer and see what they're talking about. One thing I will say about Pfizer, Pfizer, they have the drug Viagra. That's one of their biggest drugs that they have is, or let's just say more is a more popular drugs that they actually sell to market is Viagra. They own the rights to that drug, and their stock price is fairly low. It's kind of affordable. They You still some type of hope with this one because AstraZeneca, Regeneron is a very expensive stock price, whereas Pfizer, $36 a share, it's cheaper than Neo. Okay, it's still hope here. And as you can see, their 52-week low is $27, 52-week high is 41.99, and they're currently at $36.52. Now let's open up Mr. Wikipedia and see what they actually own. I know they own Viagra, but they actually own they have other products as well. Now, let me see if they show what products they actually have. Okay, so they have like some antidepressant drugs, Zoloft. They have some other, so they have some type of drug that's azithromycin, which azithromycin I heard a lot about. They've been using azithromycin to deal with this COVID-19 bug, and it's from what I've heard, is pretty effective. So they have some type of chemical construct of azithromycin, which is Zithromax. Now I'm gonna tell you, I had to train my actual tongue to be able to even say azithromycin. I can say that now, but back in March, I had to I had to learn how to say azithromycin without sounding foreign. But yeah, I'm aware of that one, and then they have a couple of other drugs that, okay, this is something I believe to deal with like antifungal. I think this is like over the counter, maybe uh diflucan, and a couple of other things. Lyrica is something that they use. I be seeing commercials, so this is for neuropathic pain. So they got quite a few things, and then of course, they have Viagra that they don't mention. I don't know why they don't mention Viagra, but they do own Viagra as far as I know. Maybe if they sold it or something like that, but they have quite a few products already approved for market. So yeah. Now let's see what they're talking about in their last news headlines. Let me see what they're talking about Pfizer, because I mean obviously they've been working on a vaccine. So let's see what they're talking about. Let's open up Investors Business Daily and see what they're talking about with this, with their vaccine. Put the link in the chat. See here. What's going on, Soul Shader? So yeah, I think you said you got 100 shares of Pfizer or something like that. Soul Shader. So you already invested. Okay. So this article here is from Investor Business Daily. Dow Jones today stock dip as Pfizer seeks vaccine approval. BioNTech, Williams Sonoma top buy points. Okay, so let's see what they're talking about with as far as Pfizer. Okay, um, all right. Coronavirus stocks, Pfizer, BioNTech, Mesoblast. So Pfizer climbed 1.6 percent, and its Germany-based partner BioNTech scaled up 5.9%. Now, I've never heard of BioNTech, so I'm going to open that up and see what they're talking about with that, because I've never heard of this. Okay, so they're, wow. I mean, it's pretty extreme, pretty high price there, 106. So I guess they have some type of partnership. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna look. I'll have to look at that another time. But the companies, I was just curious about what the price was. But the companies, as this reads, the company said that they plan to submit applications today that could provide emergency use authorization for an experimental COVID-19 vaccine candidate. So this article is actually it's the 20th, so that was about Friday. So this they've already filed the application. Okay, so earlier this week, Pfizer upgraded the final analysis of the vaccine to more than 95% effective versus preliminary analysis that showed effectiveness above 90%. The final result puts the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine effectiveness. See, now this is another thing here. This is not what they're talking about, right? I'm thinking it's just Pfizer only. Well, they're working with this German company, BioNTech. So this is a combination of a collaboration with Pfizer and BioNTech. It's not just Pfizer alone. Okay, so that's something that that I did not get the memo. Okay, so they're working with this German company, BioNTech, and they came up with this vaccine. Okay, so now they're waiting on the FDA to approve it for emergency use. Okay, so the vaccine effectiveness on par with the vaccine under development and testing by Moderna, because Moderna is another, like, it's a couple companies that I did not mention. Okay, Moderna is another company that's been working on a vaccine or already has one in the works, or I mean maybe already in the market. I don't know, but they're like I say, they trying to be the first one and the most effective one to hit the market, because whoever gets the title that knocks out this bugger, they're gonna get all of the spoils when it comes to that. They're gonna get all of the praise. Stock gonna go up. I mean, in theory, this is what is gonna happen. Whoever is comes up with the first vaccine that's effective. Okay, so yeah, this article, it kind of gives a lot of foresight of what is actually going on. It's in the the box here. So you say you got about 13 shares. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Now, I'm curious, how many shares of Neo do you have? Uh and then I think you say you got 100 shares of Uber, because Uber was up today. And of course, Neo was up $6, over $6 a share today. I only got about four. I I snuck out four shares, which is about 20 bucks today, which is not bad. Um, so yeah, they did fairly well today. And then it's another company, Plug. They're at like $28 a share. They was just at around the same price Neo was a year ago, at like $1. They're another like electrical company. They're not in the cars, but they make like electrical, like lithium ion batteries and stuff like that. 300 of Neo. Oh, great, man. That's excellent. That's excellent, man. so so today alone, shoot, today alone you made enough, man. Shoot, you made enough to buy a little cheap Humpty. $1,800. You up 1,800 just off Neo. Oh, we got a newcomer. PPE is worth $36.52 a share. Okay, let's see what that is. PPE. Let's see here. PPE stock. Who is that? People Infrastructure. Oh, okay. Wow. Australian company. Okay, what do they sell? Oh, they sell PPE gear. Okay. All right. All right. Let me let me see here. Go back. Hmm. So one Australian company is selling, and then when did they start? When did they make oh, they're old. They've been around for a while. Okay. There's another Canadian stock that I bought. I bought some a while back, and oh, the electric company I'm talking about is Plug. Let me go back to my Yahoo Finance. So I have to look it up. I have to look at my recently viewed. Let's see here. If I go to, let's see here. You guess net list. All right. So okay. Uh, you said PPE is Pfizer ticket symbol. No, when I put in PPE, bruh, it comes up. Let me see here. What does it come up with? It's a couple of different companies, but when I put PPE stock, it puts in People Infrastructure Ltd. I mean, Pfizer stock is just pulled it up. I was just talking about it. Pfizer is PFE. Is PFE. You put PPE. Is PFE. Yeah, but yeah, Plug is one of those companies that I missed, that I bought, and I sold prematurely in haste, and it went up, substantially. It's Plug Power, So yeah, this company was it was at like $3 a share a year ago, and now it's at like $26 a share. You know, I mean, a year to date. So just one of those companies I just didn't have the patience for, and I missed out. So yep, another one. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of opportunities out there. It's also companies that are smaller, that you probably need to watch, out for. It's like some companies that they might be small time, and they're out there for the purchase. And then don't be afraid to buy OTC stocks too, because there's some OTC stocks that can be very volatile. A lot of your penny stocks are OTC stocks, you know, and they could be very volatile too, so said I'm debating whether if I should try to buy another 100 shares of Uber for 5K after Lyft, or should I leave Uber alone and focus? Nah, Uber is one of those companies. It's just a roller coaster company, man. It just going at a snail's pace, but Uber to me is one of those companies where it just fits. It fits that mold. It's a revolutionary company or idea or product or technology. It has a huge following. it has a gradual ascent. The stock has a gradual ascent or an ascent nonetheless, where it goes up. Uber is definitely one of those companies. It's just not necessarily going up, but it is, since I've been talking about stuff or whatever the last, what, 4 or 5 months, 6 months, it's up $50 a share now. It went from 30 something dollars to like 50 something dollars. I mean, let's let me go to an investors daily. I don't know if you go there, Soul Shader. They have actual analyst reports on there. So let me see what the analysts are saying about Uber, because they'll give you like a price point on average of like where what does analysts think the price will be, or you know stuff like that. They'll actually give you some type of like what the analysts think or whatever. So Morgan Stanley is holding Uber. They have 8.6% stake in Uber. Okay. Um, let me see here. I think maybe that is Yahoo Finance that gives that. They give an analyst report. Some of them they want you to pay for that. Let me see here. I don't know where I go that I get an analyst report, because I know I've it's some. Let me see. Let me look at my favorites to see if I can see where let me see here. Is it FinViz? Oh no, maybe it's Trading View. Okay, let me see here and see what they say. Okay, Uber. Let's see here. No, they don't. They don't. Let me see here. Ideas, technicals. Mm, no, they don't. It's just other people talking about it. No, that's not it. So, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's somewhere where they give they give you a free analyst rating or whatever. Let me see. Is that let me give me a second. Let me see if I can find that out. Let's see here. So I'll put in Uber. Let's see. Let's give you mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I know I saw that somewhere where you can they gave you an analyst report, but yeah, I don't see it. I don't necessarily see it. So um I don't know. But yeah, I can tell you this. I mean, I believe Uber is one of those roller coaster stocks. I mean, it's just, you know, just gotta imagine it's already gone up like $5 in the last, what, 3 or 4 months. $10 probably in the next. Let me look at the actual. Let me look at the chart for Uber. So their 6 month chart it's up like $2 from the last 6 months, but the year actually no, I was looking at it wrong. Okay, so the 6 month it was at $34, and then now it's at 50. So it's like up almost yeah, it's up over $15. Since the last 6 months. So is it gonna keep going up? I mean, here's the thing, man. Like I say, in my opinion, Uber is one of those roller coaster companies, roller coaster stocks. It's just my opinion. I mean, as far as the parameters, like I said, revolutionary company, revolutionary kind of technology, um, big huge following, and also the kind of like basically the stock continues to rise. It makes a cent, a regular ascent. It's one of those roller coaster companies. In my opinion, I mean, in my opinion. Now, would I buy Uber? Now that's a whole nother question. Because see, here's the thing: Uber is kind of getting out of my range, right? It's kind of expensive because a lot of times when I look to buy, I'm looking for the best bang for my buck. I'm trying to become a millionaire. Okay, I'm trying to hit a home run. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to. If if I'm gonna spend if I'm gonna buy 100 shares of Uber for $5,000, well, okay, I got time to wait, right? I want to buy another I want to buy. I'm looking for a company that I could buy 100,000 shares of. That same $5,000 that I'm trying to spend on Uber on a blue on a roller coaster company such as Uber. I'm more of a risk taker, so Shader. I would that type of money. I'm trying to buy 10,000, 100,000 shares of another company. That's just me though. That's just me, so Shader. That's what I would do. That's what I look for because that type of money you could buy a stock, a penny stock. You could buy a 50, like you could buy a company. It's like 50 cent a share or something. It's something that it fits those parameters, and then you could buy 10,000 shares. Okay, 10,000 shares. You gotta just think how many times you got 10,000 times. Okay, one thing I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna throw this out here. One thing on how you become extremely rich and wealthy and rich or whatever is the power of X. The power of X, right? Which is multiplication. Okay, the power of multiplication is so. For example, when Chris Brown goes on tour, he charges $100,000, for each location he goes on tour, right? Beyonce charges like over $1 million each venue, right? Okay. Yeah, if she charges $1 million, how much you think would a packed crowd, a freaking venue with like 10,000 people showing up to see Beyonce? How much you think that damn company that is charging, tickets at the door is making if they paying Beyonce $1 million? And then whatever is at the concert, the drinks, the food, the um different like merchandise you could buy, whatever, the vendors, how much are they making? It's like it's the power of X, like the power of multiplication is what. So like a rapper or a singer, they go in the studio one time and they come out with a hit album, right? and they sell that for that one experience of the moment of hours and hours of recording and everything. They they come up with an album and sell it 10 million times. That one album sells 10 million times, right? It's like that is the formula for, basically, that's why I say, like, in my video, the 10 things I've learned from trading, from 10 over 10 years of trading. Like, you you do okay with buying. Like, for example, I bought 4 shares of Neo. That was a good decision. Okay, I made a couple dollars since I because I bought in at about $45 a share. It's at, currently, I think, what, about 55 or something like that. So I made $40 off of that little decision of just taking my little chicken scratch that I had to buy 4 shares of Neo. Okay. Now, the thing about it is, with big money, or larger amounts of capital, you want to use the if you're I mean, this is just how I think, because I'm in it to make, gross amounts of profits, right? I'm also trying to, capitalize on other companies that are showing exponential growth, like Neo, like, and stuff like that. But see, here's the thing. What I'm trying to tell you is that I miss Neo. I missed Plug Power, right? You you're jumping on companies that people already know about. Well, one thing I don't know, maybe is somewhat exciting about me is I'm showing you where I threw a ball, I threw an alley oop to myself. I didn't catch it. That's what I'm able to do. I'm able to find these companies. You see why I'm broke. Like, you see the error in my ways. I'm finding these companies, but I'm just not holding them. Well, what you're doing, Soul Shader, you're finding these companies that I've already missed out on, and you're buying them. What I'm trying to tell you is that it's companies, it's other companies like Plug that's 6 months ago. Right now, it's like at $1 a share, or 75 cents a share. It's other companies that a lot of people don't really know about. You know, that may be the next Neo, to make maybe the next Plug Power, maybe the next Wayfair, that you might be missing out on, that you can get about 1,000 shares of, 10,000 shares of. That's all I'm saying. You know, um, because that's what that the reason why I be finding these companies is because I look for 99. I look for penny stocks. I look for dollar deals. What's going on, bro, John? I look for companies like that because, this is why I'm reporting after the fact. Oh, I messed up. These are the companies that I sold to prematurely. Well, there's companies that are still like that out there, that I don't necessarily capitalize on because I'm not in the markets actively like that. But other people that got, money can, because they're still out there. Because, like I say, I mean, do what you want to do. Do what works for you. Don't listen to me. But I'm just saying, what I do is I look for how many shares can I buy? That's primarily what I look for when I try to buy stocks. I look for what's the most amount of shares I can actually buy. I don't necessarily look for, oh, let me jump on this company. I'm looking for what company I could jump on and buy the most shares of. So, this company goes up. I already got 1,000 shares. I got 10,000 shares. Or if I can, even if I'm on that level, I got 100,000 shares. It go up $1. I bought in at 50 cent. I got $200,000 in my account. I'm free, the condo I want to get. I could pay for it cash. I could just write a check, cash out my brokerage account and write a check for the condo, and all I have to do is pay HOA fees and taxes. I don't even have to pay any mortgage or anything like that, because I bought a whole bunch of shares of a company that I kind of figured would potentially show some profits. And I didn't even play around. I just bought the most shares I could possibly humanly buy at the time. And that's just kind of one thing I learned, because like I say, I done missed out on a whole bunch of companies. I missed out on Sirius XM when it was 30 cents a share. I was pussyfooting. I only bought 30 shares. Should have bought at least 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares would only cost me $300, and I had $300. 1,000 shares, then Sirius XM, it went as high as I think like $7 a share. It took some years, but it went up, and then I didn't capitalize on it like I should. So that's one of the biggest things that I noticed, how I uh kind of things that I did that I should have done differently in over the 10 years or so that I've been trading, buying too less amount of shares of companies. And then, basically, yeah, certain companies you can't buy that many shares and you don't have enough money. That's all I'm saying. That's basically what I'm saying with that thing, with that kind of jumping on companies that are already kind of somewhat established and breaking away, and kind of really already kind of getting expensive, because there's nothing wrong with that. That's it's nothing wrong with that, but you got to think. I mean, what else is out there that haven't really been discovered? Because because see, one good thing about me is where, you know, I can take somebody's money and I can triple it, double it, because I can find companies like that. I have a track record of finding these up and coming companies that are on the rise after a year or 6 months, where some people may not be able to find them. I've found quite a few companies within the last year, than the last few years, that I just didn't have the patience for, but I found them. Half of the job I've already done, you know. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe should I just like, I don't know, should I do like a weekly stock pick for like 99 cents or some shit, cuz I find companies like, that's one thing that I will say, that I'm very good at finding companies. See, the only difference between me, I just haven't got with the right people. I know people listening to me, people watching me, some people that are well established or whatever. I just haven't got with the right people yet, but I can easily be working for some type of investment firm, or some company or whatever, because I know that I know what I know how to do, and then they'll show me other things, to the way to do it. They'll give me some training class that you got to take. And you probably have to, take a class to get your Series 7 or whatever. I can do all of that. I just haven't got into that realm or anything, or nobody have asked me or whatever. Nobody has pretty much taken interest, right? But I know I can get into that type of realm, and it's like, the thing is I know how to find those companies that kind of like nobody really looks at, because a lot of times people look at the blue chip stocks, they look at the companies that are already out there. Oh, okay. I mean, well, you know what I do is, what I'll do is I'll just look for some every week, and I'll just post them to Patreon. I'll post like maybe a couple, not to overwhelm anybody, but just like maybe a couple, and I'll just post them to Patreon, and I'll lay it out. I'll give like my analysis, my full analysis on it, and that's what I'll do. Maybe like once a week or something like that. If I see something, I'll just make a report or whatever, and then I'll just do that. So I mean, you have something else that you could possibly tap into, because a lot of the stocks a lot of people already know about, that people know about Tesla, they know about, Boeing, they know about, Microsoft and Oracle and all of these other companies. They already know about them. They're like damn near household names. But it's other companies that some people don't really know about. They might not know about. They under the radar. Um, and it's like those companies sometimes they can be a big potential for profit because they're already below a dollar, or they might only be $2 a share. You know, and if you got money, you could buy a whole bunch of them. Versus another company is already $200 a share, $20 a share. That you're just not going to get that many shares because you're not that big of a whale yet. You only a dolphin, whereas a whale, yeah, a whale can, millionaire, you could buy 10,000 shares of Uber. That's nothing. That's before lunchtime. He could just, buy 10,000 just with the click of a button, and it's no big deal. Whereas, the average person, 100 might be, it's a big deal. It's like, yeah, I mean, 100 is not bad, but 10,000, 10,000 is a monster. I've I've bought a thousand shares of companies. When it goes up, it don't have to go up that much, and you can feel it. You can see it, and it makes it rain. It makes your account rain. When it does. So, but let's see here. Uh, okay. Yeah, I primarily I try to look for tech stocks because I understand tech. I'll give you one right now that I was looking at earlier. Because I was actually looking at my watch list. Okay, so this one is an OTC stock. So I'll give you this one here. They make solid state drives. They make RAM. They make memory modules and stuff like that for workstations, servers, laptops. This one right here is it's a penny stock, and actually this one they kind of made some movements this year. Okay, they were actually at in April of last year they were 16 cents a share. Now they're at 59 cent. You know, they're in Irvine, California. They got quite a few investors. They looking like they're building up a little steam. It might be something going on here. I mean, I do know tech. That is something that I mean. Warren Buffett he said stick with kind of what you know, but it is quite interesting. That one right there, that's one that I was actually looking at today. You know, but definitely, I mean, trade at your own risk. I mean, do your own due diligence. If it's something that if somebody send you something, you ain't gotta necessarily buy it. I mean, you look into it. if you think you could make a if it's something that you want to risk, I mean, definitely. I mean, I get like stuff all sent to me, or trade recommendations. I see trade recommendations from different news articles. I don't buy everything that I see. I mean, I just I look at it, you know. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna hit the road here. I definitely appreciate all that hopped on and paid attention to this stream. I'm gonna get on this road, head back home.